Hello everyone,
Hi guys, I am Anna
and I'm Rosanna.
and we are market researchers. And as market researchers, we hear a lot of questions on how to build buyer persona, customer avatar, or ideal client. But the thing is, it's basically all the same but just different names.
Yes, so we decided to create this free video guide on how to create buyer persona with step-by-step methodology, and it will be 100% based on data.
So let us introduce ourselves first.
My name is Rosanna and I'm co-founder at IntroMarket Research. I'm responsible for strategic market analysis and customer insight. I also hold a degree in marketing and it helps me a lot while designing surveys and actually building those customer avatars.
And I am Anna. I have over 4 years of experience in the market research industry. I was working as market researcher at Interconnection Consulting and Capital Source Group, and now I am running IntroMarket Research, a market research agency, together with Rosanna, and we work for over 2 years.
Yes, so basically we have four main services at IntroMarket Research. These are buyer persona creation, competitive analysis, phone interviews, and also
Market
market
studies.
studies. Yes.
And we created like over 70 unique buyer personas for our customers from different industries. But they all came to us with the same goal. They wanted to personalize their marketing and they wanted to find out who is their ideal client.
Yes, and usually one buyer persona costs $350 and it takes us 3 days to complete. So we decided to create this free video guide on how to create your own buyer persona with step-by-step methodology, and it will be 100% based on data.
So we prepared a PowerPoint presentation for you on how to build your buyer persona. You can do it by yourself, and we will show you where to get the data and how to use the data. So after watching this video, you can just start and create your own buyer persona.
Yes, so let's start.
Let's begin. Let's talk a bit more about what is buyer persona. So, buyer persona is a visual representation of your ideal customer, which aims to bring a deep understanding of their lives, views, preferences, etc. And on this slide, you can see a sample of a ready-made buyer persona. It consists of 5 slides and covers all the data we need to know about the customer before launching a sales or a marketing campaign. We think that it is better to see a sample of a buyer persona first and go through each slide before jumping to the step-by-step guide. Otherwise, you will not know how the end result should look like. So we prepared a sample of a buyer persona and let us introduce you to Sophia Gorton. She's a marketer, she's based in the US and works for the corporation. And let's take a closer look at each slide.
The first slide is an introductory slide. It includes demographic information about customer, age, gender, marital status, household income. It also includes sections about me, goals, challenges. Information boxes like articles and websites are extremely important because they show exactly what content your customers like and what kind of information they are interested in. It shows context, style, topics. Additionally, it is worth adding an information box like brands. It is very important to know what brands your audience resonates with.
On the second slide, we have a detailed information about your persona's views, personal level, skills, network, corporate culture, words I appreciate. And to the network, we added LinkedIn groups she's a member of. When it comes to corporate culture, in our case, because we created the buyer persona of marketer who works for a corporation, but you can change it to startup culture, online entrepreneurship, or any other segment that your persona fits in. And to explain words I appreciate, those are the quotes that persona shared.
Third slide Identifiers. It is very visual and very colorful slide, and the main information is supported by pictures. So what identifies your customers? Or for example, on the third slide we can see that Sophia supports working dads, mom. It is important to her to maintain work-life balance, and family and career go together.
On slide 6, we put information about podcasts and language. This is very simple. You can also add books or any other data you want to add.
Here we are going to talk about influencers and conferences. Influencers. The topic of influencers is relevant to any business. It gives you an idea what your audience values when it comes to leadership. This information you may use in your content marketing, like for example, infographics with relevant influencers, articles, biographies, life facts, etc. It might be useful to search for niche influencers within each specific segment. Conferences. Our persona is a corporate worker, and this is the reason why it's relevant to identify conferences persona attends. It helps you to prepare a plan of events to visit so you can network effectively. Note that this part may be irrelevant for your business needs, so keep your mind open and add anything that might be significant to your business.
Appendix. We usually add an appendix to the buyer persona as useful sources. So we wrote down titles and job positions of customers that we analyzed. And for the creation of this buyer persona, marketer, we had to look for people who have positions in marketing, PR, and communications.
Also, in the appendix, we add companies where customers work. For the creation of this buyer persona marketer, companies that have over 1,000 employees, and companies that are clients of competitors. For example, competitors of our client already cooperate with Facebook, their marketing department, so that our clients want to add companies like Facebook to the list and analyze their marketing specialists by creating a buyer persona. Marketing specialist from Facebook is our client's ideal client.
So let's proceed with the actual guide of how to build a buyer persona. You saw a sample, and now we will explain where to get the data and how to research it.
Our unique methodology includes 4 steps to create buyer persona. First, database and analysis. Second, swipe file. Third, interviews. And fourth, visualization.
Step number 1, build a database and analyze it. First, you have to build a database of your customers. If you just started the business and do not have clients yet, build a database of people who most probably will buy from you. For example, you want to target marketers, so your ideal client is marketer. Build a spreadsheet of 50 or 100 profiles of marketers. You can find their profiles on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. You can see a sample of our database of marketers. We used LinkedIn. In the first column, we have links to the LinkedIn profiles of marketers. We put together a database of around 70 profiles in total. And do not forget to apply filters while sourcing profiles. In our case, we were interested only in marketers who are based in the US and work for large companies, over 1,000 employees. Because we were creating this buyer persona for a client who had marketing offers for corporate clients only. But all the fun begins after we put together a database, and we have to analyze all these profiles according to the set of features and find common characteristics at the end. So in the spreadsheet, we should add new columns and fill them in with the information from our profiles.
And let's talk about the most important points you should include: gender, personal note, how the persona describes themselves. Usually they include their goals and challenges in the description. Conferences or events your persona visits. Influencers, groups. Compile the list of groups your persona is a member of. We advise becoming a member of those groups. This is a great place to post your content, which is designed specifically for your target audience and create an awareness of your brand. Brands. Your persona follows a lot of brands. You can find them in section companies on LinkedIn. This info might be useful for your content strategy and future partnerships. Skills. Write down skills that your persona received endorsements for. We always add the column Other. You may add here any information that you think is valuable to complete your buyer persona. But do not forget that you should analyze the database and find common patterns. We are interested only in common things to narrow down the audience. That's why the database should be extensive and detailed.
So, step number 2, swipe file. And what is actually a swipe file? A swipe file is basically a place where you put all useful ideas and insights when your mind is beginning for simulation. We use just ordinary Google Doc and we save interesting screenshots and links in the process when we're analyzing profiles. You can see a sample on this slide. And when looking at the customers, we are looking at a new user segment. People share, like, repost, and comment on a lot of important things, and it is a very rich way for us to understand them. And not just the people themselves, but the context in which they live. Buyer persona is really centered on having a real understanding of those contexts. So things like screenshots from customers' profiles can be a very important way of capturing that kind of information. And when we move on into pattern findings, that's where we start to think visually. So that's where we begin to synthesize it. And the online behavior of your customers identifies them, especially when it comes to your online marketing. It is very important that in the swipe file we save all articles, websites, comments, pictures that our customers interact with. It is also very helpful to leave a comment, instant thoughts that you have after seeing the data. As you can see in our sample, we commented on some topics like women's rights, politics, celebrate success. When it comes to celebrate success, like it means in our situation that the person shares the information about important milestones or recent achievements.
This is an extremely important section that will help you to build your future content strategy. Your persona reposts a lot of content. Gather their links to the sources to find out where is the best place to promote your content. Use also Twitter and Facebook. Try to find profiles of your customers in those social media and take snapshots of their activity from there. Normally, this kind of information will not differ. They will repost from the same brands on Twitter they follow on LinkedIn. So you should do it to cross-check the data. And when it comes to Facebook, we both know it's a personal area mostly, so it will help you to find data about the age range, personal views, marital status, and similar. Based on the analysis of the database and swipe file, you can start building the buyer persona profile. You split information according to the following categories: demographic profile, work in progress, skills, goals, challenges, content, articles and platforms, influencers and brands, sales funnels, personal level, environment, professional network.
So, step number 3, visualization. Visualization of the results. So, after we gathered all the sufficient information and analyzed it, we can safely begin to create the profile of our ideal client. At IntroMarket Research, we use PowerPoint and start developing slides. We use this software because it's free, simple, and it's easy to create a colorful and attractive design. And we remember also that visualization of a buyer persona plays an important role. Interviews: to conduct or not to conduct. So there are 3 types of interviews you can apply by creating a buyer persona. Phone interviews, when you schedule a call with a customer or potential customer. Face-to-face interviews, you meet people offline and ask questions. And online interviews, you prepare an interview guide and send it via email or messenger. But the thing is, Whether to conduct interviews or not depends on your product or service and on your goals. In our sample for buyer persona marketer, we didn't conduct any interviews because the client already had many customers, but he wanted to improve his advertising and find out more information about appealing content that will resonate with his customers.
If you offer a new product, software, course, training, or want to upgrade your offer by adding new features, it is absolutely worth conducting interviews. It is enough to have a conversation with 5-10 customers or potential customers to find out their reactions to your offerings. At IntroMarket Research, while conducting interviews, we use design thinking approach. It includes open-ended questions that let the actual individual lead the conversation. It helps to bring different points together. Also, we present the idea of your product and ask about the feedback. Leave a comment under the video if you are interested in more information about the creation of interview guides, and we will record the video on this topic. We want you to be sure that the right buyer persona works. You can see testimonials from our clients to whom we created buyer personas. So, if we were helping our clients, we believe that we can be helpful for you too.
Also, we created an editable buyer persona profile that you can download. It is already a PowerPoint presentation. You can fill it in with the data. It is customized to any buyer persona from any industry, and it is not an ordinary template. It also includes commands and instructions where to find data for each information box. So please see the link to download in the description. And remember, this template is the result of 2 years of marketing research and over 70 delivered buyer personas. And we give it away for only $27.
So, what do you receive for $27? You will receive editable buyer persona template, totally customized for your needs, 2 samples of ready-made buyer personas, 2 detailed buyer personas that we created. You can use them as inspiration and samples. Step-by-step guide to make your path clear. Thanks for watching, guys.